active, knowledgeable, involved, comfortable, confident, hands-on, right? So these are all these little mental calculations that our brain is doing all the time. A good syndicator will always tell you, here's how much I'm raising, and here's what I'm using the money for. The financials. So this is for my left brainers. My right brainers is going to glaze over like a jelly donut, right? But for my left brainers, you're going to want to see their financial projections and you're going to want to dig into them. Now, everyone's Excel formulas are always perfect, right? No, right? And no one ever makes mistakes in that, right? No, they do all the time. And then sometimes people put in garbage as their numbers, and garbage in, garbage stays in, garbage makes little garbage babies that infiltrate your brain and have you make, in some cases, the wrong decision. So you have to make sure that the things that they're putting in terms of what their model says actually makes sense, and make sure that they're putting in correct information. And some people will actually go and walk these projects, right? What was one of the things that you saw every time Mike puts up a slide, almost always at a project, right? Walking around with other people. What kind of a sense does that give you of Mike, of that man, and of the projects he's working on? Active, knowledgeable, involved, comfortable, confident, hands-on, right? So these are all these little mental calculations that our brain is doing all the time, right? Does he come to you and say, I am capable, I am hands-on, I am reliable, I am this, on that, and that? He doesn't have to say that, because a picture really literally says all of those words to our brain, and we use that as part of our analysis and decision on whether or not to work with someone. Sources and uses. So a good syndicator will always tell you, here's how much I'm raising, and here's what I'm using the money for. Otherwise, what might they be using the money for? Might they be using it to line their own pockets, right? But don't you want to know, like, how much is going to construction? How much is going to an acquisition fee? How much is going to the asset manager fee? How much is going to a construction fee? How much do we expect for the asset manager that's on there, right? And we talked yesterday about some tools for what percentages we should use as well. And are the fees that they're charging for those different fees, are they industry standard? Or are the incentives not aligned? So if, for example, someone says, I'm not taking any money on this deal except for my acquisition fee, which is 10%. So you're aligned at the very beginning, get asset, but you're not aligned all the way through the process, which again is all that matters after you get the asset. If they're getting paid up front and they don't have any other skin in the game, how likely is it that they're going to continue to perform, right? So there's some question there. So make sure to look at that to make sure that everything is aligned with you getting your money, right? Return of capital later on.
I want you to take that opportunity today for you to learn that as well, that you can change the trajectory of your financial right now, not tomorrow, not in 2000, God knows what, but you can change that right now by taking action. Click on the link in the comments below, and we're going to share all the information that will share with me that I am just in passing today, because it did transform my life, and I want you to be able to transform your life as well. Yes, you wanted to have a boss, you love your career. I used to love all that as well, but now I can tell you I am much, much more in love with the fact that I changed my life, my kids' life, and everyone that is surrounding me daily.